how do you ensure that Learn Fresh's programming stays educational while going big on it being engaging and fun for all kids?
For sure. So, I mean, to that specific point, I think feedback loops are really important, and not to be overly tactical, but we've always had really open relationships with our educators. When we were founding the organization, we actually did this summit where we would bring in teachers every year for a multi-day feedback session where they would sit down with us and give us in-depth insight into how the program model was showing up in their community. We've shifted the way that we execute that now just because over time, the amount of change needed decreases, but the open feedback loops with teachers have been at the heart of how we've been able to keep the content part of the programming relevant.
Yeah.
The other thing that I just want to point out here is I do think our work is really rooted at the entry point to the math pipeline, right? Like we're working on foundational math skills, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th grade. And maybe this is a point that I'm making more in advocacy for our work than anything, but a lot of people are like, well, basic operations are something that you can do with a calculator. Why do you need to spend so much time working with students on that? Or, this skill or that skill, students can use AI, in the future. But math is a language. And again, for me, for music is a language. When you're learning a language, you need to just develop comfort with the content, right? You need to have exposure, in this case, to numbers and how they work and how they relate to one another and how they can be used in calculation. And so at the foundations of our work, developing that fluency with the language and getting students excited about the fact that hey, I can speak math is the starting point.